Welcome everyone to the TDM FunCup Championship. It is time for round number 6 at Laguna Seca, one of the circuits that has been highly anticipated, and we are heading into an unknown. This is something that is not done in the real life FunCup series. Well, we have all the availability in the world here on Assetto Corsa, and it means that the FunCup Championship, here brought to you by TDM, can really go absolutely anywhere, and that's exactly what we have done to one of the best circuits when it comes to the entirety of motor racing, and especially when it comes to America. We've got a championship that might be going one way due to early domination. However, so far, the races, individual races, have proven that it's absolutely unpredictable and it's all to play for. It's going to be another great round of thrilling action and first of all, of course, close lap times and lap times at the limit. We're looking forward to it here around Laguna Seca, our 6th round of the season.
And looking at the calendar as well, we're past half distance now. We're at Laguna Seca, as Omi mentions, before a double header in Britain. Back to Silverstone, this time on the national circuit on the 31st of March, before heading over to Brands Hatch on the Indy circuit on the 7th of April. It all rounds out back at Italy in Imola on the 14th of April as well for a full circuit, which is going to be very, very entertaining.
It's going to be very entertaining indeed. Now, of course, we brought you this at the end of the broadcast, but for some weird reason, if you did not stick around 1 week ago for all of the post-race shenanigans, then here they are right now for you. Webber leads the championship standings, 187 points next to his name. Sandy Burgi on 135. John Jig is third on 116. Then comes Daniel and Jack Smith, who, of course, has only recently come into the TDM FunCup Championship. 2 rounds under his belt so far sees him P5 in the standings. Rich Rue is 6th, and then Matt Pryor, injured, but still, due to his early rounds brilliance, has put him 7th, and then comes George Given, Ishmael Armstrong, Rum, Oscar Buck, and Max Beldage, who is 12th in standings. And here we go. Here we are. We're all set. We're all ready. Another round of this incredible championship. And we're all looking forward to getting this party started. In commentary, my name is Omi. Delighted to be with you. And alongside me, as you can see, right to the side is JB. And, you know, we're here like last week. But, JB, I don't think we're functioning as well as last week, let's just say.
No, I've been forced out my main commentary box because it's so windy outside. The internet connection is not doing well. So we're on the backup equipment, which is why I'm on a headset. I've also lost my voice, so I don't really want to get the lip mic infected, having to clean it. And you're very much in the same situation while you're on a headset, not the lip mic tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, I've not been feeling well over the last few days as well. So we're both absolutely trying to battle through. But, you know, it's TDM. Of course we have to be here and, well, come for another installment of the championship. I'm already missing next week, so I wasn't going to add more rounds to that list. So we're all here. We're all set. And it's going to hopefully be quite a lot of fun.
Hopefully.
Yes, absolutely. This is our new system that we have got. So you've got myself up here in the commentary box, as you can see. But we've also got yourself, JB, as well, next to the absolutely brilliant side-by-side action of what's going on the circuit. And then you can also see us at the same time. It's absolutely fantastic.
That is quite cool, actually. I quite like that then as well. That's going to make analysis quite more fun as well. So, yeah, not bad. JT's been cooking behind the scenes of some great new initiatives, and it makes it all look a lot nicer as well, doesn't it, coming into it. This is the free practice going into qualifying, and we saw last week already the corkscrew is going to be a bit of an issue, so we're going to be experiencing some quite interesting tactics. And of course, this circuit isn't the original. We didn't used to have the sort of infield section. It used to be one long loop up around towards the corkscrew. And then they changed it to include these high undulating parts where you have to go slow, right, left, uphill. And it's made the track a lot more fun. Laguna Seca is one of the best tracks in the world, as you're seeing now. I can't wait to see what we're going to have come qualifying in a couple of moments' time.
It's going to be really, really fun. And don't worry, we weren't going to bore you with our faces all broadcast long. It is live pictures and the TDM FunCup Championship cars out there on the circuit in all its glory with 3 minutes and 25 seconds to go on the clock. Jack Smith currently P1 at 1 minute 45.012. I think it is important to add the drivers have pre-practice and then they have a 10-minute practice session as well. This is the 10-minute practice session, so the lap times you're seeing have only just come in the last 7 minutes as well. But talking about the pre-practice, this is absolutely everything that did go on earlier on as well when it came to it, as Weber Nirashdo finds himself going to the top. But what we're going to show you is what we were able to catch in the last few hours of pre-practice. All of the drivers fighting away similar to last week, JB.
Absolutely, and losing it coming downhill into a braking zone, running wide, that's going to be quite something. Sliding around with a 4-wheel drift, that's quite nice to see. I think this is the problem. You catch the brakes wrong at this part of the circuit, it's just going to spit you off quite quick because the cars are quite low in speed, which means if you try and catch them already in one particular way, the car's going to be unbalanced immediately. So this is quite fascinating actually to see, and yeah, the sort of sandy, gravelly nature isn't very good coming into it. But now they're all just messing about out there on the practice session and smoking up the tyres and making it look a lot more fun. Yeah. Enjoying their practice session.
Absolutely, smoking it away down towards the first consequential turn of this racetrack as well. So very much interesting stuff there from George Given at the same time, and we're taking a look at more things out there on the circuit. So, you know, they were all just having fun. They were all just absolutely going for it and completely enjoying themselves at the moment.
Absolutely, they're enjoying themselves, and I thought I might add to that as well, as I remember we've just started the British Touring Car Championship today, and this is of course what inspired the championship. Matt loves British Touring Cars, so I've added in my Quit Fit hat for the night as well. But this is amazing. There's just siding around everything on the circuit. I bet JT's going to put me on the cotton count now side by side, and it'll make me look a bit ridiculous coming into it. But yeah, not too bad.
Oh, absolutely. So, goodness me, the moment that we just saw as well on the circuit, in terms of the car going upside down to the corkscrew, I can definitely assure you once we're done with different sessions, so we may be seeing that out there, but yes, that was very much exciting and interesting. 50 seconds to go off this practice session.
Yeah, 50 seconds to go. There we go. Look, got the Quit Fit hat on. This one Nina got me from the Brands Hatch circuit last year. Got to wear it, got to be in there because it was, of course, day one of testing as well. And guess who was fastest again? Tommy Brook was quick in the morning session. Sheridan was quickest in the afternoon, actually, thinking about it. So hopefully you're going to tune in tomorrow to JB Motorsports for another full day of coverage as well. And then we're going to be on site at the Brands Hatch test next month. But this session, getting right up there, and this is going to be a cool, calm, fun practice going into an aggressive qualifying and 2 races that I have no idea what's going to happen first. This is brilliant stuff.
Really, really is. And now with the checkered flag out, it is very much time to prepare and progress through into the important part of the TDM weekend. We've had lots of practice that has taken place. Lots and lots and lots of practice. But now it is time to get going with qualifying. It's time to get going with the races as well. So there's a lot coming your way in terms of action pack and close running, which will hopefully all just begin in qualifying. But one thing we have seen, JB, Weber Nirashdo, any qualifying that he's done, which it's all bar one, he wasn't here for a round earlier on in the season. He's taken pole in every single round that he's competed in. So it's not a surprise to see him have a 4.5 tenths advantage, very nearly 5 tenths, by the time we get to the end of this practice. But it'll be interesting to see in qualifying, is he going to be able to continue it? Most likely, judging by previous form, yes. But also, then another game off, what will the pole margin be? I think we've lost JB for a moment. There we go.
Sorry, it's my fault. It's not just the fact that he's on pole position in every round he's been into. It's the fact that he's into the barrier. Oh, and it flipped over twice there coming into it, the corkscrew. My goodness me. So then that was quite a fun one. Yeah, it's not the fact that he's had pole position in every round he's contended in. It's the fact that every round he's been in, he's either been first or second as well. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 victories and 2 second positions out of the races we've had so far. But he wasn't in the Nürburgring. Here's a replay. So just basically turn in, miss the apex, and decide bounce 1, 2. Then I think that was at least a 3 bounce, wasn't it?
And then the games are like, nope, that's enough. We're gonna completely reset. But that's enough. We're gonna now prepare for qualifying as well. So yeah, that's what the game decided to do. Which fair enough. I guess they want to get on with this qualifying session, as do we, because it's going to be thrilling. But yeah, as you mentioned, Weber Narashto, thrilling when it comes to qualifying, thrilling when it comes to a complete race distance as well. As you mentioned, first or second, most of the times first. I think it's also important to add at the same time. And we are really looking at a scenario where we could end up getting to the end of the season, and that could be the start that continues. However, with more and more drivers coming in, and with how close these races have been, JB, I think it's also important to note one little error, one little mistake, one little contact, and if Weber finds himself spinning in the last few laps, there's plenty of drivers waiting to take away the advantage. So, it can very much change quickly.
Yeah, and added to that, John Jig as well, who's been on the podium, thirds and seconds throughout the races, but of course DNF'd at Vallelunga last week and then did not start due to an internet issue. So you've got to watch out for John coming into the session here today to try and capitalise back what he lost last weekend. So this is really anybody's guess. And of course, Matt was looking good, but then he's got himself injured as well, so he's out for the season.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're not seeing Matt contest the remaining rounds of this season. We are currently now seeing the drivers contest their 6th qualifying of the season for the ones that do remain with us as well. You can see Daniel making his way out there on the circuit. 9 minutes to go in the qualifying session. It all goes by very, very quickly in terms of the out laps, the in laps, and all of the push laps as well. It's really time consuming, so the drivers don't actually get a lot, even if 10 minutes may seem quite a bit. And of course, for this FunCup Championship, they can sometimes be used to. Smaller circuits at the same time. So we're putting them in. We're putting them in all of the challenges. And Daniel, as our producers said, decided to do over 200 laps in preparation for today for some reason. I think JT's woken up today and chose a bit of violence. I think JB.
For some reason, yes. Well, 200 times in Laguna Seca, and let me tell you something, it won't matter one bit anyway. You make one mistake here, especially down the corkscrew, you are in big, big trouble. But meantime, it's looking quite good. As we take a look at Daniel now, coming through the last couple of corners. Arguably, I think this is the hardest corner, the last corner. Slap on the brakes as you come in on the inside, and it's just a 90-degree turn to the left. And it's really, really difficult coming into it as I rise up the line. And we got John Smith there at 157.966, Gibbons on 159.2. So he's 1.2 seconds off the pace at the moment. I'm just to see Rich Roux coming up into that last corner now, as I mentioned.
Absolutely. So he's now pushing on and looking to try and also be a contender by the time he ticks over the remaining meters that we have and gets a lap time on the board along with the rest of them. And the lap time is a 2-minute 26.029. So not really pushing on the most there, just embedding himself in to the circuit. And then he's going to try and push even further, and then we'll eventually see the lap times come close. Well, I mean, with the 10 minutes, I guess, we only really get to see the absolute proper flying laps come past probably the 6-minute marks, because you're going to have a lot of scruffy laps, and there's not, and of course, then the drivers have to try and improve off that as well. Matt saying in the chat, just for information, if I wasn't injured, I'd dominate, and it would be boring. So consider it a blessing. Yeah, absolutely. He's done us all a favour, just so we can all enjoy some fantastic racing.
Yes, I'm sure falling over after marshalling after a heavy day of rain as well, and breaking his arm was all part of the.
Absolutely.
Was it the arm or breaking the arm? What did you actually do, Matt? I'm sure that was all part of the plan. Also makes me very nervous now about Nina marshalling. But then again, I know Nina's listening. Hi, Nina. She does have the habit of falling over thin air. So she's gonna love me saying that. Hi. It's fine. She's not here again. Although then again, this isn't her fault because there's been a lot of traffic on the motorway today, so she hasn't got back in time where she'll be. So she'll be back with me next week when Omi decides not to turn up for a time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm having my first and only absence of the season. I mean, I'll wait till the end of the season to be able to say that, because who knows? What if I find myself in an emergency? No, not gonna indefinitely, absolutely say that I'll 100% be here. 99%, absolutely, I'll be here for the final 2 rounds as well. Matt Pryor fractured his elbow.
So
yeah, so that's what he did. Anyway, lap times, Richu, we saw the original lap, which was just really another out lap. Now we've seen a proper lap, 2.2 seconds off the pace. It's Webber, then Jack Smith, then Given, who's up there. He'll be quite happy with 3rd at the moment. Then Richu, and then we find ourselves with Daniel, who've actually set somewhat competitive laps, but we've still got plenty of drivers who will be aiming for that.
Aiming for it, knowing that they need to do it as well, because this circuit, you've got to sort of just fly with it. Sector times are looking good right now as well as they come into it. Who's coming towards the line next? It will be Webber. His lap times are 1:43.974. It was also his last lap time. As we ride with Rich right now, down into the back of turn 9. Now moving back up. So yeah, not bad actually on this circuit. Less than 5 minutes to go then. Omi as they come into it, but Webber still fastest by 0.52 of a second. On that last lap time, by the way, sorry, obviously the live guides on my run. His actual gap is 0.304.
Absolutely. As we send it in, letting you see it on board, and now as we fly our way by to Jack Smith, as he's also pushing on once again. Daniel, that's what he's done over the last run of the Laguna Seca circuit, 1:45.3. That has put in 1.3 seconds off the pace. Let's see whether the 200 laps plus practice is going to come in handy. Will he be able to win it all for him in the final 4 minutes in terms of qualifying, or will he have to settle for possibly right now what is the 2nd row, but I'm sure he'll maybe like a bit of a trip at least to the top 3 positions. Richu has also just set another time, but still finding himself in contention with George Given, about a 10th and a half. So we're definitely seeing some groups being developed in terms of, realistically, the drivers having someone else to contend with, I think, at this moment. Because, of course, we do have some big gaps in the field, and I think some drivers' expectation will probably not be to go to the top, considering Webber's run that he's had. But they will definitely have some aims in terms of where to start the race, and then they know, when it comes to the race, actually anything can happen. You just need to make sure that you're in a good position.
Absolutely you do, and just make sure that as well at the start you don't do anything stupid. You just sort of relaxed and know where to put the car, because the first sector hit Laguna Seca gets incredibly tight. If you go 2-3 wide, you're going to be off the track in a matter of seconds. Interestingly enough, Webber and Jack are still close together on the circuit. Remember last week at Vallelunga, they were practically racing each other in qualifying. It's a similar situation going on now. Jack's going to come across the line. Webber's directly behind him on the screen. So what their lap time's going to be, Webber's improving, so's Jack on the Delta over the line, and Jack goes to the top with a 1:47.838. And Webber, his last lap time was a 1:44.154, not beating his 1:43.9. So this is already showing how the toe works around on that lap time. It's less than what we were expecting.
And, well, it's not been a phrase that we've been able to say, because the racing has been where this championship has excelled all the way through, but we have actually got a battle for pole position. Of course, when it came to Nürburgring, it was definitely one which was also contended, but could this be the first one where it actually goes all the way until the end? And we actually have a battle between Jack Smith and Webber Narashta. This is going to be very interesting to see how that is going to develop. Burgi to 3rd position, a lap that he needed, a lap that he gets. It puts him 4.5 tenths off the pace, but once again it's in there, and it's got himself to a good position, which we've seen actually this season. He's been very good with his starts, so he could absolutely try and turn that start into something, and something can easily be 3rd on the grid to the lead, kind of like what the Ferrari's do in Formula 1.
Yeah, their launches are superb, aren't they? And we're all looking forward to the Japanese Grand Prix this weekend with high expectation coming into it. Oh, hello, that's Richard who's stopped, and he's gone red on our timing monitor as well. So he's, I wonder if that's a disconnect of some kind via internet. We'll have to see. He did have problems as well last week, he was reporting. So we'll see if that's going to change anything. But meantime, here comes Webber up towards the line. Delta's putting him 0.52 seconds ahead. Is that going to be the case to go now P1 over the line? He does so. 1:43.643. So he's 2/10 clear to Jack at the moment. Now we look at Daniel over the line. His delta is 3.91 seconds down, so it doesn't improve, but now builds up for a final run with 45 to go. As they down in towards turn 1. Now we look at Sandeep Burji now, who is on my delta. Well, he's 2 seconds down as well. So let's take a look at Armstrong, who was slideways out of it. Ishmael Armstrong, 1.1 seconds up in his best time, but gets wide and down the brakes. The final sector, very much the rear drifting out. He's got excellent car control here, Omi, as well. This is fantastic viewing.
It absolutely is. Really, really great to see, and really interesting to see how the drivers are taking to the circuit now in the final moment in comparison to how we started off this session. You can tell that they've all turned it up a notch to try and improve. Armstrong improves his time, but not position as he came over the line. Checkered flag is flying. Who's going to find the improvement near the end? We've only got a couple more corners to go for certain drivers. George Given about to now push on. He's in 5th currently. Can he go and try and consolidate that 5th? Because Daniel's only about a 10th and a half behind. So keep an eye on the battle for 5th and 6th. Weber Nirashdo has been able to go all the way to the top. So he's now 2.5, nearly 2/10 ahead. And keep an eye on Jackson trying to respond.
That was an off moment there coming through as we've opened up. That's a nice little onboard telemetry camera as it came through, giving us the number of where we are. So Given throws the car in. It looks like Webber's on pole. I don't think Jack's going to improve that much. He's 2/10 down. Now a full second back, so he's not going to do anything. But Gibbons up. Tell you what, though, look out for John Jig. He's improving. So is Sandeep. They might have some times. I think, no, John's given up on that time. Daniel goes 5th ahead of Given.
Yeah, so he was able to find the time, and he is able to get himself to 5th. Given in 6th. Let's take a look at Burgi as he makes his way through, finding a bit of time in that middle sector. So he's definitely putting himself within range. Jack Smith confirmed in 2nd, but this would absolutely need to be an extraordinary final part of the lap to basically jump himself about 4/10 forward to Jack Smith, 6.5 as you can see forward to Webber. So this is going to have to be a lap where it's all in through the end of the lap. Let's see then, how is it going to add up for the driver who's already 3rd? No one can beat him to that position, and he'll make his way over the line. 1:44.139 that time by, and he still finds himself 3rd as we predicted, but still pushed on.
Apparently Armstrong's having connection issues as well, and Sandeep was loaded into the server. What a great run that was then. Webber 1:43.643, Jack 1:43.838, but then also look further down on the runs. Sandeep improved massively, 1:44.139 across all the sectors, just improving time upon time again. Really strong, as we see now the usual post-session shenanigans.
Going on? Yeah, absolutely. As we now fight away, on the circuit. In terms of now, just a bit of fun for the drivers. So if for the ones who are still running, they're all just kind of jostling it around until they're coming into the pit lane. There it's Burgi stationary, and now it is time for the waiting game. And the waiting game for the first of 2 races that we have coming our way to get underway to see who is going to come out on top and become our latest winner. Will it be a new winner, or are we going to have another win for one of the stars that we've already seen so far take it?
So what are we going to see then? As I can't find where the Photos app is on my iPad to get. Oh, there it is. It's there. I need to, because I've got the screenshot coming through of the grid. So it's going to be Webber on pole from Jack, Sandeep, John Jig, Daniel, George, Rich Roo, and Armstrong, the top 8 on the field. handy little device, isn't it, with the live timers that Omi sent over. But still, 1:43.6. What a lap time around Laguna Seca in one of these cars. So 15-minute races, averaging 1:43. We're going to see around about eight laps, maybe 8 laps. I think coming into it. What do you think?
I think we could, yeah, get around that range as well. I think that is a good estimation, and we'll see by the time the checkered flag comes how fast can the drivers make their way by as well.
I'm loving this personally. I think we're going to be in for a fantastic race.
Absolutely. Here we go. All lights are on. And we're underway and racing at Laguna Seca. Good reaction time off the line from Webber, and it's going to be even between second and third. So Jack Smith already with Burgi in behind, but now in the second phase, the slipstream for Jack Smith is going to bring him closer and ahead into the first turn. And also there for company as well will be Burgi. So late on the brakes, and it's going to be the lead for Jack Smith. Burgi was super late on the brakes, and I think he's going to lose out. Back second place, and Webber's going to find himself improving up forward. So Smith, then Nirashta, then Burgi, Daniels in fourth, Givens in fifth, and then comes Jig, Richu, and Armstrong. Your top 8 in an interesting run to the first turn, but it is Jack Smith able to claim the lead at the start.
Great start so far then coming into it. Jack really got the launch well, coming down towards the first corner. Webber's all over the back of him though as they come up towards the run, towards the corkscrew. Good take in there for Jack. Can he try and now have the momentum to push through? I think it's going to be one of those days, Omi, where catching is one thing and passing is quite another.
Absolutely, and those are the days that we pretty much love as well, where all of the drivers, you know, just closely running together and having to really work for the overtake. That's what we love to see. But in this championship, as already proven, the opportunities can come quite often, but you have to be strategic, you have to be tactical, and that was really close stuff between Given and Daniel, and Given looking for it on the outside as well, and the first bit of battling through the corkscrew already arriving for us, and it's Daniel who's won out that battle. Given trying to respond, but having to just sit in the wheel tracks for the moment, and great battling this between the two drivers who are dressed in the same colours. These two aren't. These two are still fighting for the lead, and Webber Nirashto all the way around the outside, and he will lead us over the line as we will complete one lap.
What a cracking move around the outside of the last corner. You never see one of those completed. Really had the traction as they head down to one. Now can Sandeep get in the slipstream and try to look on the inside? He's not going to have too much, but he's picked his line nicely as they flick it through. Look how much more speed Jack can carry mid-corner as Given and Daniel's still in the battle. Given's up to 4th position, Daniel's down to 5th. Armstrong's coming into it as well as Jig and Richard. They've dropped right down to the back of the field. It's a great start from Armstrong, who was having internet connectivity issues earlier on. But meantime, at the front, look at this. This is going to be round the outside on attempt, and Smith's on the back of Webber too as they come up towards the corkscrew section.
This is thrilling. This is close, and this is exactly what we wanted as well. You can see Webber Nirashto directly ahead, and Jack Smith looking to try and get closer. The slipstream, it brings you in and in and in, and then you're already going through a corner. Can you try and stick with the button? Jack Smith's wide, Jack Smith's wide, and running very much in deep. I was asking the question, could he stick with him through these corners and then wait for that chance? But into the corkscrew, he'll find himself behind, and instead of really looking ahead, he'll have to keep an eye on the mirrors, because Burgi has proven himself a threat at the start, and he'll be a threat in this battle as well. Remember as well, 1 week ago, and so far this season as a whole, he sometimes sat in this 3rd position and just waited for something to happen ahead, and he's kind of in that place again. So many drivers just sit in this 3rd, wait for some contact, wait for the right opportunity to strike, and then take advantage. I wonder whether we'll get a scenario like that, and Jack Smith was super late on the brakes and very nearly into the back of Webber.
You're on about waiting for an opportunity. Here it is, a little bit of a bump draft now. Can Sandeep get the inside line? Jack's got defensive against the pit wall, but Sandeep's not going to let him go. There's a wide line approaching. If we just go the inside, I would have braked a bit later there. Jack's going to go in super deep, take a compromised line. Sandeep will get the better exit. Look at the line that Webber was taking. That's the line that Sandeep's going to have. But all this battling, look at that. Webber's now pulled out a 1 second advantage at the front of the field, Omi. So basically, he's taken off for this race. It's not that long. This is what, lap 3? We're already 5 minutes into the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to Jack Smith, he'll now need to try and regroup, because this has been a few wide moments, basically back to back to back. of course, he found himself losing the lead. He very nearly found himself into the back of Webber. He's finding himself just ahead of Burgi, and now he's in a situation where he needs to try to bridge the gap back, because as this season has proven, Webber knows exactly how to control races. You cannot give him control. You've got to stick with him, and you've got to make sure it's a battle all the way till the end to have a chance for yourself to win, and really, you're carrying the hopes of everyone else in behind as well. As at the same time, John Jig has got past Ishmael Armstrong. That is for 6th as well, so he's been able to improve. There they are in the background. At the same time, we're focusing on Daniel and Given, taking very different lines as they try and meet in the middle, and Daniel tries to overtake Given.
And Given still staying ahead, but Daniel's got interesting lines. We're right now with Sandeep as well down into the last corner. Webber's lost time there. Look at that, 3/10 lost in this lap time alone. He gains 2/10 coming out of the last corner alone. Up we go now. Jack's going to go defensive. Can Sandeep get a run on him? So he's looking to go to the inside line. Now he chooses the outside. Jack's perfectly in the centre, Omi, and a little nudge down the brakes. That's going to give Jack a little bit of a deep braking zone. And if anything, Sandeep missed the apex.
Yeah, it didn't work in his favour, did it, as well? Not on the way in, not on the way out. The gaps ended up at 0.6 of a second now, so it didn't really work in his favour that time by, and he's got some great momentum coming out of the final corner, but then he's got to now try and utilise it in the right way coming into the final lap. I think that's what he's not being able to get completely the hold of at the moment, because it is one of the best chances as well, with the long slipstream that you can get down there. But he's not been able to make the move just as of yet. But he'll also not want to battle too hard with Jack Smith, because then what will that cause is these two will just lose time and let Webber run away with this. Burgi at this point still will believe that Jack Smith can keep them both close to Webber as well. So that's going to be very much interesting to see whether how they battle over the second third. Can they try and still keep it close to Webber? But you're having to think tactically at the same time. If you're Daniel and Given, not at all, because you're in your own world right now.
Yeah, and Daniel's got back ahead. Given's down into 5th position as well, but these two battling have put Jig and Armstrong back into it, and Armstrong's dropped down to 7th, so Jig's made a place back up. Richard down in 8th position now. Webber's only half a second clear, less than that, so Jack's now starting to come back. Sandeep's just inside that gap as well, so the top 3 separated by just over a second coming into it. Now on board with Sandeep up towards the braking zone for turn number 1. Watch that inside line and look how late he's going to come on the brakes.
Absolutely, that was a purple lap that time, the fastest lap for Jack Smith, and you can tell because he has closed in the gap and then some. The timing board says 5/10, but visually you can see how close it is. You can see that he's basically halved the margin that there was, and now he's within range. The range which, if you see a wide moment here, if you see a wide moment there, Jack Smith is there to capitalize. That is the type of closeness. He's been able to get through the opening sector, but now can he keep it through the rest of the lap? Webber already trying to inch a little bit clear, but now Jack Smith has kind of recovered from a few of those errors and just needs to keep it calm, collected, but also rapid at the same time.
Catching is one thing, passing is quite another. I've told you this before, and it's getting very, very good at the front as they try to rise up now and find some more positions. Actually, looking at the lap times, Webber was a 1:44.026 on his best lap. His last lap, 1:44.091. Jack's last lap, 1:43.539. Fastest of the race so far. And the goal, look how much Webber went wide coming into the braking zone there for the corkscrew, and Jack's all over him.
It was a send it in moment for Jack Smith. Really threw the car in to the corkscrew as well. That was brave, considering he's almost lost the race in a big way in terms of lost the margin. He's closed it back in, and that was a huge type of last lap risk that you'd usually try and take. But here we go. It is within range. 0.4 of a second. Can Jack Smith try and have the attack on Webber? Remember, Smith has had to try and defend from Burgi, so he's had to be on the other side of this. But unless it's really late, unless there's a mistake from Webber, nothing will happen at the opening part of the lap. He's definitely going to be late on the brakes. They could definitely meet together in the apex. Maybe something will happen because Webber was very much slower through that part of the circuit, and Jack Smith really could carry the momentum, being the chasing car and being able to get so close. And now he's all over the back. 2/10 the gap, and it's now try and get a better line out of every corner, and then the chance can come.
Find the right place to make the move. Find exactly when you want to go for the move. This is all over the place, and he's still looking on the inside. This is never usually an opportunity to overtake, but it's the one he's found. Slips back through, and Jack takes the lead.
Beautiful move in the end, and Jack Smith able to get himself to the front with just over 5 minutes to go. Is that going to be the move? Considering, oh, that's going to be wide, Webber, wide, how far off has he gone? He's going to lose second place, and Sandy Burgi will move up. Webber has not finished in a position other than first or second. Could that be about to change?
That's not good. Just a small mistake at this track, as we mentioned in qualifying, can take you offline. So he's really now got to focus in and regroup with about 2.5 laps to go. And look at Jig all over the back of Gibbon now through the corkscrew. He might have to move down into the penultimate 2 corners.
He really could. Yeah, this is absolutely unbelievable. So you've got a battle now for 5th. You've got a battle for 7th. You've got a battle now for 2nd, really, because Jack Smith has been given his invitation to kind of run away now as well, and Webber's going to have to try and contend for the 2nd place as John Jay gets super close out of the final corner, and his gap is 4/10, just over that, so it's within range. He's got a chance to do something in the braking zone, and George Given, the British driver, looking to try and defend. These two can see Daniel ahead. That's 1.3 seconds further up the road. Are we going to see anything into the first turn? It looks like they're going to be single file going in, but John Jig definitely going in for the faster route into the corner, but then kind of balances out when they both leave. In terms of behind, Ritru past Armstrong.
Yep, so he's now, so Armstrong back into last place, so that is a bit of a shame. Apparently there's a few lagging issues, as I reported earlier on, and also George is asking you and me, where's your lip mic?
Well, unfortunately, I'm not feeling too well. So unfortunately, I mean, I don't want to get. Well, fortunately for the lip mic, I don't want to get it dirty, pretty much, as well.
Trust me, Megan had tonsillitis, used the lip mic, I hadn't used it, and got laryngitis, tonsillitis, whatever, and I'm still suffering now. So yeah, don't use the lip mic when you're ill. Unless you've got one of those hygiene screens, then you can, but we need to get one of those, and I'll be sending you a couple more posts soon.
Yes, very kind. But yes, I've gone to the kind of old way of doing things usually. It feels very weird to have both hands free.
It does, doesn't it? Even I'm using the headset, and I'm like, no, this doesn't feel right. Even using it during IndyCar and NASCAR doesn't feel right sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still being able to get some of the hand movements with this FunCup Championship because of how close they're getting. So the hands are still getting and going through all the work, and it could be about to, well, get a bit more movement for myself because Webber Narashto could be making a move on the circuit. Burgi very much going for that outside line and now finally cutting across, defending the inside part of the road. Webber trying to go the long way around. That's brave. That is the long way through, but is he going to be able to get on the power? Burgi will have it on the exit, but better traction for Webber, who's now going to have a nose in there. He's going to have a full car length in there. Does he finally have the plate with just over 2 minutes to go? Burgi's sliding. Does he keep it together in a straight line? Just about, but not ahead of Webber, who moves back up to 2nd place.
Fabulous. He's never been outside of the top 2, and he's keeping that momentum going, but Sandeep's trying to come back round the outside of him. That's not going to work down to this part of the track. Webber's going to have to be careful not to run wide and take them both off the track. Sandeep can try and come back on the inside soon.
Absolutely. He can try and possibly go for that move. 2.6 seconds ahead. It's Jack Smith's race unless he makes a mistake, unless he makes an error. But this battle will absolutely rage on and on and on. It's Webber Narashto versus Sandy Burgi. These two who have been at it for so much longer, as Jack Smith absolutely going for it and cutting a bit of the road there as well, utilising absolutely everything. He's already gained time, he's lost about 3 tenths, but you know, definitely pushing on a bit.
Look at this for a replay. So tries to cut round the outside, late on the brakes, super tight, and that's never usually an opportunity to get alongside. But I'll tell you what, he's using it. It is slightly banked out there, Omi, and he's able to cut back to the inside. That's some superior driving from Webber. Really strong stuff. And that little slide there, unfortunately from Sandeep, kind of cost him big time.
Yeah, it kind of did, as you mentioned at the same time, as we tick on to the final lap of the race then. We've got 40 seconds to go on the clock, And with a lap time that stretches to about a 1 minute 43, 44, 45 as Burgi slides, this will be the final tour. They'll not be able to get round in time for another lap. John Jig is making a move on George Given. That is for 5th and 6th position, and Jig exits ahead and makes that overtake complete, but now can Given try and fight back? This looks like will be our battle that we'll focus on this final tour.
Yep, it looks like Smith's going to have this one, so can Given get ahead of Jig? And Daniel stay where he is? He's too far up the road, so can Given make it a top 5 or a top 6 finish? That's the question, as they try and keep it together. What a fantastic run coming into this part of the circuit. He's got the inside on me.
He's got the inside indeed. George Given looking to try and move up to P5. This will be brave stuff, and he's been able to get there. Executes the move perfectly. Exits in front. Now has to try and control it as we throw it down into the corkscrew, and that was well controlled. But John Jig would have definitely had something in mind, because he wouldn't have let that one slip that easily. Can he now try and fight back as he makes his way through? And we're running out of corners in this race now.
I don't think he can find a way through, and Jack's to go about the last corner coming through.
Absolutely, the winning moment for Jack Smith as he will exit the final turn, and we'll see the checkered flag as the first driver, and he will take victory in Laguna Seca. Race 1 goes to him. Weber Nirashta continues his streak of being 1st or 2nd. Burgi's 3rd. Daniel is going to be 4th, and then it will be Given, followed by Jig, who will be P5 and P6. Great battling till the very end between those two. And then Richard in 7th, and it's been a disappointing race for Armstrong in 8th, who had a moment on the final lap to drop 23 seconds away.
That's such a shame coming into it, but now the post-race crashing begins. Well, that was an interesting race, wasn't it? As coming into it, well done to Jack. Another victory, another great performance out there. Again, really strong. That's going to be yet another victory critically for him in the championship. Believe it or not, that's his 3rd victory, and his 5th podium is in a row coming into it. So already a super duper performance coming into that one.
Absolutely. Super duper indeed. The description of Jack Smith, the race winner, as Daniel gets into the celebrations, and oh, it's fantastic seeing the drivers after each race. They're all having their fun, and why should they not? But the only thing is, we're ready to do it all over again. We're about to do it all over again. Repeat the whole process in terms of the race.
My camera does not want to work with me at the moment as well, with this background. Fighting it as hard as I can. I think that's the best we're going to have coming into it. Yeah, that's the best we can have.
There we go.
This part of my wall over there. So
Absolutely.
Weber's on 5 points only coming into that team. So the team's going to have 150. So he's got 100 clear already. That's quite fun.
Absolutely. It is quite fun indeed. So very interesting to see the points gaps that we do have, and in terms of how the race has shaped up the points too. But yes, now it is time to regroup and go again in terms of racing. And this is going to be exciting then. You're going to have 15 minutes on the clock. We're about to do it basically all over again, pretty much. And it is going to be Jack Smith on pole, Weber Nirashta alongside. Those will be the two that will battle down towards the first corner. And we're about to go racing as all 6 red lights become lit. And we're racing for the 2nd time at Laguna Seca with a great start for Jack Smith. Weber immediately beaten by Sandy Burgi off the line, and it looks like Burgi will have 2nd place, and now we'll try and chase down our leader Jack Smith down towards the first turn. Smith will hold it and park it in the inside line, but Weber Nirashta be feeling brave round the outside and now trying to cut in, trying to take the place away from Burgi. Jack Smith leads. He was able to control it all. The battle for 2nd place and 3rd is very much still on. Daniel's 4th, then it's Given in 5th, and Burgi in the correct part of the circuit that he needs to be, meaning he's still got the possession of P2 right now.
Weber tried and didn't work out around the outside. Did a great attack from Sandeep off the line. Weber just didn't look like he got going. We'll try and see later on as Armstrong get down into 8th position again. Richard and John Jig trying to have a go. Daniel and Gibbon resuming their battle from race number 1, but up we go once again towards the corkscrew section of the circuit, and Smith has got a 4/10 of a second lead, but look at Webber already a little bit nearly onto the gravel. He looks to the inside, coming over the crest. He really wants to get ahead of Sandeep.
He really, really does. Really wants to make this move as soon as possible. And this is really now going to be basically part 2. But this time, can 2nd and 3rd stick with our leader? That's what we're basically going to try and work out. And to be fair, this season, I will say, race 2s have been the one which have just usually tipped race 1 in terms of the racing overall action. So I wonder whether it will be the same case once again. Webber Narashto riding over the curb and looking to try and get the car rotated as Jack Smith finds himself in the lead. Burgi finds himself running in deep and wide over the curb in a big way, and Webber Narashto takes P2 on the road.
Yeah, it just went wide over those gravel parts of the circuit, so it just got sort of dragged off like a magnet snapping together. It just sort of, the curb rides you and they exit there. And look at this, oh, Jack backs off, and that Webber hits the back of him, who then Sandeep hits the back of him. Jack lifted off through the exit of turn 1, and that condensed the top 3 together. It was like a finger trap, Omi. You're pulling apart just makes it worse. You've got to push it in together. Fabulous.
Absolutely. That was very much interesting as well. And now Burgi still looking to try and have the attack. Outside line will not work, and instead he will just sit in behind. But these two have to be clever. They cannot let Jack Smith run away.
They touched, according to my screen, they touched as, again, further back. Webber's got 2nd position, so he's gone back round the outside as Gibbon and Richard battling out. John Jig in that too. Jig's ahead. Gibbon's going through on the inside line, coming into the braking zone for the corkscrew. Gibbon's going to have to really, really commit to that inside line. It's like Rossi and Pedrosa. Can they just make it through? Yes, they can. Brilliant move from George Gibbon. That was Zanardi, that was Rossi. They've really played their heroes.
Battle for the lead. Battle for the lead. We were only a 10th away momentarily at the same time. Let's quickly go back to the start as Webber looks to try and make the move as well. So 2 things going on at once. Can Webber find his way by? This was Jack Smith maintaining the lead. Meanwhile, live pictures though. This is Webber trying to retake the lead. This is absolutely fantastic for us. But yes, it was Jack Smith able to take the advantage. Burgi and we also had Webber Narashto battle away. And now Webber Narashto is looking to try and make the move and take the lead on the circuit. Can he do it now with 11 minutes to go on the clock? Once again on the outside line. You were just seeing this on the replay of this attempt that he had earlier on. This time around, can he do it? He seems much more embedded in and was really looking for that outside line. And now Burgi's in the mix, and we're getting back to the TDM FunCup Championship wildness territory out there on the circuit.
And Dave tries to cut to the inside line. Brilliantly timed replay, because we were able to see what happened the previous lap as sort of a foreboding to what was going to happen on the 2nd lap, to try and see where Webber was going to put the car to try and learn from the differences, but he didn't. The outside line still wasn't working. Sandeep's trying to go on the inside line, but Webber breaks later. Jack's still up the road by about half a second, so they're all still running quite tight together, but that's also bringing Daniel into the mix now. It's like Vallelunga all over again.
Absolutely. It is great. More and more drivers getting involved and looking to try and join the party. The party in which we're looking to try and crown our winner here of our 12th race of the season. Of course, 2 races per every round. This is round number 6, and this is the 12th race that we are running. The drivers get plenty of running in each week, and you know, we've still got 3 rounds to go after this one as well, and we're getting closer to crowning our champion, but we're very much looking forward to crowning more and more winners. And this time, Webber Narashto selling the dummy, dive bombing to the inside line. That's the result of how they've ended up. They're still together. There's still nothing to separate them as they send it over the line.
Webber's got the inside line. Jack's on the outside. He'll be able to cut the door shut down towards turn 1, but Webber's going to keep committed. Surely if I was Webber, I'd back out of this, because that's going to end in contact, and it slightly did. Yeah, Webber touched the back of Jack, and Jack goes in deep. Now Sandeep feels like he can come through. He barges once, he barges twice into Webber, who puts a foot on the grass.
Absolutely. And now Webber and Burgi need to be smart. They need to be clever about this, because the more they battle, they're going to be giving Jack Smith this one on a plate, and it looks like they are going to battle. Burgi looking to try and have the attack immediately at the first chance that he had after that moment, but now can Webber try and bring them both back closer to Jack Smith? Meanwhile, in the background, Given's looking for it. On board we jump, as he's going to be very much seeing Daniel running deep. Given will stand on the power. They'll meet together. They'll be level momentarily. Given's aim will be to be ahead into the next corner. This is absolutely great stuff, and these two still absolutely fighting for it. You can see with the camera angle how close they got, and George Given exits ahead and moves up to P4.
Daniel's going to try and look back on the inside, coming into the corkscrew. He looks to the outside. Watch out now for Jig and Richard just behind into the corkscrew. And yeah, they really threw it in there. Wow, they were having a battle of their own coming into it. So we've got loads of fights going on. John Jig, by the way, yeah, it's the JT just puts him in my ears. He is all over the place. He is completely out of it right now.
Yeah, it's not working out ideally for him as well at the moment, is it? Burgi, by the way, has lost a bit of time straight through to our top two. So the gap is 1.1 second, 1.2 seconds between Burgi and Nerashta. So that is very much a gap that is slightly extended compared to what we've had with them all being close together. Webber and Jack Smith still at the 5/10 range as well, but we're focusing on 4th, 5th and 6th, because they are very much the close battle and the close group at the moment, where you've got quite a few contenders in the mix, and it's going to be interesting to see what order they finish in. Of course, we've had race 1. It could be completely different by the time we end this race and have race 2.
Could be completely different as well, as we keep an eye on the monitors. This is incredible battling right now as well. They are, again, just trying to find the right momentum, trying to find the right speed with things, aren't they? And that's the important thing, I think, only as well. Try and get the right deltas, and then it'll also come towards you again.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think that's the thing indeed, in terms of you just got to try execute it in that way, don't you? And that's exactly, right now at the moment, what Webber is going to try and do to Jack Smith, who leads the contest, and Webber getting super close. He's getting dangerously close now for an attack. He'll be trying alternative racing lines, and Jack Smith parking it brilliantly at the moment, but Webber getting so close, and can he send it down the inside? He was having a look with the inside line, wasn't able to get there though. And meanwhile, Daniel and Given, 4th and 5th, these two cannot separate each other. I know we have the battle for the win going on, but these two quite literally have been glued all event long, and off the road they went, Given, as Nerashta looks for the lead again.
Yeah, they did touch ever so slightly as well, so that flashed up. Where's Webber going to go with 6 minutes to go this way? Going to go inside, surely. Have a go on the attack.
I think that's going to be the way, isn't it? It's going to have to, but looking further back, Daniel once again looking for the attack on George Given. George Given tight with the defense. Daniel looking to try and be brave. John Jig waiting for the fireworks as well. Fireworks that won't come, their whale will it. In a few moments time, Daniel with a very bumpy ride, and there we go. John Jig takes advantage and moves up to 5th. He'll be the next one to attack George Given, who leads this train, and Daniel still fighting away with the car. Will now bring Richard into play.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're still fighting out like crazy. This is brilliant stuff. So who says the FunCup isn't, aptly named? Watch this replay. Outside, late on the brakes, switch it again. That was a brave move. It would have paid off, but they didn't expect to meet at the exit. So just a little bit of a run wide moment. And that allowed, again, a slip back through for John Jig. And Daniel now live, trying to get back ahead of Jig, coming down into the corkscrew, rear stepped out, and that was smooth, but got too much exit grip coming over the crest, and now Richard is going to have a go. And then Richard's round, Richard's gone round.
Yeah, Richard spins all the way to the back of the field, and that is a disappointment for him, the driver who has been very much in contention all the way through today. Now he's going to have a bit of a, hope for drama. He's definitely going to be praying all the while for some drama to come his way. Back to the battle we go at the front of the field. Personal best that time by Webber, by Burgi. They're pushing on. Burgi's looking at a different race now. Webber still with the same goal to try and attack our leader Jack Smith, who is looking to try and do the double as well by the end of today. And now Webber is there. 4 minutes to go. Time is running out. Meanwhile, here's Daniel looking to try and go all the way around on John Jig, who parks it in the middle and keeps that position. Meanwhile, let's take a look at a replay.
Yeah, so as soon as it comes over the crest, the rear just sort of grips over the bump, comes back, and then just makes slight contact, and Richie just gets sent off in towards the Neversphere.
He does. Absolutely. Just kind of sent off, as you mentioned, at the same time. But this is going to be interesting to see where these two shape out. Daniel has been a driver who has been in that mid-pack so often, and just within the reach of those 4th, 5th and 6th positions. Right now he's looking at 5th. John Jig has got it for the moment. He's 1.3 seconds away from the next driver of George Gibbon, who's been able to make his break to some degree. A driver who's not being able to make a break this race is Jack Smith. Webber, Nirashto is there, and the gap is only 0.2 of a second, getting closer all the time, but Webber absolutely getting a big slide mid-corner and losing some of those tenths. He's still, though, within 0.6. It's still not too bad, but, you know, he cannot afford to have those type of micro moments when it comes to, especially, the last lap where he needs to be really close.
Yeah, and oh, and he's gone off, and there's going to be contact, and there is, coming out the last corner, and can Sandeep get a line in? Jack just went wide, and Webber hits him.
Yeah, and Burgi now is really getting closer. The three of them bunched together. Burgi needed a moment like that. He got it. And now Webber Nirashto is going to try and make the move on the outside line. Battle for the lead with 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock to go. Jack Smith covers it. Can Burgi now try and get involved as well? Webber will have the better speed off the corner, and it means he'll still have second place. Can he have an attack for the lead? He's got a nose in there. He's looking for it this time around, and this is one of the best chances he's had. He cannot execute it at the moment, but Jack Smith still will have to look at it in the mirrors in the next corner, and he just about hangs on. These three have nothing to separate them, and here comes Sandy Burgi now for the attack for P2.
And the outside's going to be a little bit tricky, because that means that Webber can go in a bit deeper on the brakes. Sandeep's just going to have the exit. They're playing this incredibly fair as they run uphill towards the section. They're nearly touching towards now the corkscrew, where pretty much you can't make a two-wide manoeuvre work there. Jack got away with it, but he gets away with those so often.
He does. He really does get away with it. And, well, these two have been going at it now, but you can see Webber trying to get back to Jack Smith as well. They cannot let Jack Smith break away like they did in race 1. Burgi! Yes, just about well controlled. I thought that was going to go round for a moment. We've had so many of those close moments.
Right, so watch this. This is riding on board with Webber into the last corner. So this was a lap ago. Let's just take a look at how it will happen. So into the braking zone for the last corner. Jack misses the apex, goes out wide, and then Webber just plows right into the back of him. Sandeep then gets the run up down towards turn 1. But I'm just keeping my eye on the live picture as well to see if Webber's going to have a little go, because this is the last lap, Omi, and this is now make or break down to turn 1. He's going to try the outside line.
Absolutely! This is one of the best chances that you get around this circuit, and it's the last time you'll get it on this lap. That is turn number 1 navigated. Jack Smith hangs on, and Webber Nirashto cannot fight their way by, but now can they remain close? Can they try and have a shot later on in the lap? Can they try and be brave? And you can see they're all over the back of Jack Smith, who is doing well to try and hang on at the moment. Jack Smith, a newcomer to this championship. 1 in his first round that he had in this season. 1 in his second round. Had 2 podiums as well in the other results. He's been on the podium in every race that he's done. Webber's not been outside the top 2 when it's come to his races, but now it is going to be Jack Smith who's going to be trying to do the double for the first time in his TDM FunCup career. That is how it stands. That is how it looks. Speed carried in there, but Webber Nirashto looking to try and get really close. And now could this be the final opportunity that he'll get? Looking for it to the outside line. This will be brave stuff as we throw it in through to the corkscrew. Can he go the long way around? No. Jack Smith parks it brilliantly and maintains the lead.
Can he get 2 more opportunities coming through? Jack's backed off. Webber's right on the power. This is the last opportunity. can't get through. But if Jack makes a mistake in the last corner, it's all down to the line.
Absolutely. One more chance for Webber. Can he try sell the dummy? He's going for it into the final corner. That is outrageous from Webber Nurashto. We expected the move to come in, and he's done it right to the end. Webber Nurashto will see the checkered flag. Jack Smith loses second place. Webber Nurashto wins in Laguna Seca as Sandy Burgi takes second place away. Right towards the line, it's Jack Smith in third, Gibbons fourth, and John Jig is P5.
Wow, what an ending! What a fabulous last corner! The exit speed was something else, and Webber really timed that to perfection. He was planning that for around about 4 laps. That was fabulous. Let's take another look at it. So Jack goes in deep. Webber just cuts back right under the brakes, gets on the power, and then we're going to see Jack just launch back through, but Webber wins in such brilliant fashion. He keeps that momentum only, which was critical of winning a race in every round he's been in, and he still's only been first or second, but that cutback is something else.
Oh, that's outrageous. That is unbelievable stuff. We have been seeing so many cutbacks on the final lap. And for some reason, that's what these drivers basically just do. And, well, they've all earned the celebrations. They can really go for it now. Another round ticked off, and that was just fantastic. Everything you love about the TDM FunCup Championship and more on that last tour as we get over to some of the moments of jumping over. That's Daniel, who's very much having fun after all of the practice and after all of the driving that he's done around Laguna Seca. Finally, he doesn't need it anymore for the time being.
Spectacular. Bring it on again. Honestly, brilliant stuff. And now we're going back to Britain. 2 races, national circuit at Silverstone before going over to Brands Hatch on the Indy circuit, and they are going to be fast races. I can't wait. Well, I'm going to see, I think at least we're going to see about 19 laps for the pairs. This is going to be brilliant stuff, Omi.
At the next round at Silverstone, so it's going to be interesting for you guys.
They should add the Nürburgring, just a 1-lap event around the Nürburgring. 2 races, 1 lap each, Nürburgring. Just come on, the full Nordschleife circuit. I'd pay to see it. Brilliant. I'd love that, honestly. The 2 carousels. Let's have a special event before season 2, and let's do Nordschleife. I'd love it.
Oh, honestly, I don't know what would go on. It would be, you know, just TDM FunCup Championship stuff, but to another level, something that we definitely need in our lives. I think it's important to add.
Absolutely crazy, wouldn't it? I'd take it.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought for a second no drivers wanted to come and join us. But we do have one indeed, and we're ready for the interviews. JB is going to be having a chat with Webber Nurashto.
Him up into the box. I'm trying to drag him in. I can't seem to do it, so I'll have to have JT to do it for me. Webber, it's Omi and JB up in the box. Can you hear me, mate?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Hello. Well, you've kept the qualifying. You've kept the record of being either first or second in a race, and that victory, the last corner, what on earth was going through your mind? How did you see that one coming? Dive bomb and a half. Brilliant stuff.
Well, I kind of learned it from Sandy Burgi because he pulled it off at Nürburgring on Jack Smith. It was a much longer braking than there, of course, but yeah, I guess I sort of just decided, why not? I was thinking, if I hit him, I'll just give the position back. So, yeah, why not? It's fun.
It was fun and brilliant over the line as well. And Sandeep has taken second position away. So Jack lost 2 places at the last corner. Now, that wasn't the only drama. You did have contact with Jack a few laps earlier in race 2, where Jack went deep. You had presumably no time to react because he came on in front of you.
Yeah, that was the final corner as well, because the racing line actually goes right towards the edge of the gravel there, but I think he just dipped the wheel onto the gravel itself. That's why he lost all the momentum coming out of the corner. But then, of course, even though it kind of is like 4 wheels off the white line, but that is the fastest racing line here, so like I can't avoid him, and I don't think he rejoined unsafely either, because he was gonna try to get out of the gravel anyways. But yeah, that made it a 3-way fight, because Bergie caught up again after that little moment in the final corner.
What would you rate this weekend then for yourself personally as well? Because that was a great drive once again.
Well, it actually went better than I thought, because Laguna Seca has never been my favorite track. Well, it's not awful, it's just I've never been very fast around it. But I think because it's, how do you say it? It's not a clockwise circuit, so we don't have those 90+ degree left rear tire issue. We only had like 85, 86 degree right rear tire, which is much more manageable than previous rounds. So that, I think, made the race a lot more enjoyable, because you don't always have to watch for the slide just randomly because the tire is overheating. But yeah, I'm happy with pole again somehow, because I think Jack Smith did a faster lap on like the second lap of race 1. He did like a 43.5 in the race, but he only did 43.8 in qualifying. So yeah.
Getting quicker and quicker as it went. But I have been told that you now lead 230 points in the championship to 168. So you have got a significant margin in the championship, which must make yourself feel, yes, get in.
Yeah, but there are still, how many rounds I have? 6, or not 6, 3 or 4?
3 rounds, 9 races.
Okay, yeah, I mean 6 races, but yeah.
Oh yes,
Oh, Imola.
Touring car approach. Yeah, you're right. So don't know why I was going on the touring car approach on that one. Yeah, it's because we're at Silverstone next, and my brain's going into that mind. Coming up at Silverstone National next, what do you think for your chances there as well? It's a very short circuit, not a lot of braking zones, so it's going to be very high speed.
Well, the first Silverstone race we did on the international layout, we had about 5 car fighting for the win. I think this one will be no different. I'm really looking forward to it, because Silverstone is a great track. But yeah, I'm not the one I'm not looking forward to is Imola, because I think that's a full layout, so it's going to be, first of all, very long. And second of all, even on F1 games, Imola is quite tire demanding. I just fear we might have tire overheating issues again in the season finale.
Teasers, it's going to be good. Omi's got the latest of the standings though for you, and he's got where you are exactly in the points before we let you go, Webber.
Yeah, absolutely. Weber, 230 points as we mentioned. And, you know, you've got a big advantage to Sandeep Bergie, which should be absolutely not much of a surprise to you with your absolutely brilliant domination. So where are you aiming, would you say, to have this championship wrapped up?
Well, we'll see if Sandeep Bergie actually decides to lock in, because normally in other series he's about 3 to 5 tenths faster than me, I would say. But I just don't know. He's not very, well, he's not his usual self in this championship, it seems. And also the
You're obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So we were just seeing Daniel out there on the circuit momentarily at Silverstone as he was making his way through. It's going to be fantastic. We're looking forward to seeing you there, Webber. Hopefully you have an absolutely brilliant week, and hopefully you can try be maybe somewhere near Daniel's amount of practice laps.
No, that won't be possible because this week
Nice.
there's MotoGP at Kota and Formula One is at
Yes.
Suzuka, of course, and I work in my own country for both of the social media. So,
Ooh.
well, I've basically got about 0 hours of sleep coming up on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because Japan and USA, they are in completely different time zones. So yeah, I think I'll probably start practicing on Monday instead of this week.
Okay, makes sense. You're one of us. You're one of us in terms of timings and how much sleep you're able to get. Okay, well done on today. Go and enjoy it. Go and enjoy the win. Go and enjoy the 0 hours of sleep, I guess. And we will see you this time next week for Silverstone.
Yep, thank you very much for another brilliant stream, I must imagine. I'll be looking forward to watching it back tomorrow. Have a good night, gentlemen.
Yes.
Thanks, Weber. Take care, mate.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing it, Weber. I mean, I'm not your commentator for Silverstone when it comes to it, so this graphic will change. I'm technically now commentating the Silverstone round, so technically I have done it now because I'm commentating it right now. This is pre-practice. We've got the graphics. We've got the graphics. I'm commentating it.
Very well.
Cheers, Weber. Take care. Right, let's get. I presume it's. Is it Jack doing a lap again? Who's doing a lap out there?
Daniel is the one doing a lap at the moment. Yeah, so we will. Also George Gibbons driving at the moment. At the same time, they're both driving. Lovely.
Get them in. Get them both in the box at the same time because if they're here and they're both driving, Daniel and George are out there. Let's get some live thoughts about what they're seeing on the circuit. If we go, boys, hello, it's Omi and JB up here in the commentary box. We see you doing some pre-practice. If you have a moment to talk, I'd love to know what you think of the track.
You can brake a lot later than I thought you could in these cars.
You've got
quite nice and wide.
Yeah. What do you think down the back straight then, coming out of Beckett on to Wellington? Is there enough momentum for power there?
Yeah, we're close to topping out 5th down here.
It's quite good. We're looking on board now with you both and having a go. Omi, over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're already getting to the racing at the moment. Look how close it is. George down there at the same time. How is it looking from your perspective at the moment?
I've only done a couple of laps. It's quite exciting. I think this is going to be a good race. It's obviously a decently short track, corner-wise. I think the majority of the tracks are straight, so a lot of slipstream coming into play. So I think it will be exciting, especially with the high-speed corners, trying to overtake.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very exciting indeed. We're seeing an overtake. Here we go. We're already getting to some of the battling as well. We'll go full screen for you. This is George Gibbon trying to fight their way by. JB, I guess we already have to get into it now. What is this?
Yeah. Come on, boys. Just be careful with each other. Don't make too many mistakes out there, please. We've got a replay of your last lap side by side. Love to know your opinion, if you can, about the manoeuvre, Weber and Jack at the last corner. What do you make of Weber's dive bomb on the inside? Were you impressed by it? Is it fair racing to go deep in the braking zone? What were your thoughts?
It's definitely a move. Not one that I'd pull off myself, but he managed to get it stuck, and I believe he managed to do it within the rules of racing. So if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, absolutely. George, what was your thoughts on it?
Probably the same as Daniel. I mean, if there's no dangerous contact or I didn't really see the move, but from what Daniel said, I think it was a clean move.
Clean in air quotes.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got all the opinions and we're having a lot of fun. But I think it is finally time where I ask you in terms of how was your race out there today. Well, we'll start off with you, Daniel. How was your racing out there at Laguna Seca across the event?
I just kept making mistakes. overall I had the pace to stick with the front runners, but I just kept making little mistakes every here and there, and that allowed George and then John past, and that was the end of race 2. Race 1 I was keeping up with the leaders, but just not catching them fast enough.
Makes sense as well. Of course, lots of improvement to be had and a lot of learning to be had across this season 1. George Given, I know at the end of race 1 you were very close to actually making a last lap overtake. I know you for last lap overtakes as well. You got very close to one. So how was your overall round experience?
Obviously first race, nearly with the last corner move. It was fun, a lot of battling as usual in the FunCup, especially with Daniel. I think Daniel and me battle a lot in the races. But I think obviously it's hard to keep up with the top 3. They always just end up like driving away from us and just not giving us any opportunities to catch up. Obviously also with our battling. It's quite difficult to catch up with them, so I'm not sure how my prediction with any top 3s were, I think a few rounds ago will be, but the second race, obviously beat Daniel. I managed to slip away because Daniel and John Jig were battling a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow,
Turning
that's
racing at
amazing.
Silverstone.
You two are really giving it some all before going into a pre-practice. My goodness, you're learning the circuit, but don't wear yourselves out. There's still 7 days to go. I mean, I think you're going to miss a great one looking at this.
I really do. However, I'm happy that I was able to watch and call the Silverstone race that we had earlier on this year. I think so far, I would say the 2 races that we had there probably does remain the best. However, I feel like the one next week might just be able to tip it. So we'll wait, we'll see as well. So overall, now that you've done a bit more running around this circuit here at Silverstone, Daniel, what's your thoughts then heading into it? As we, get to look at a replay of your move, George Given, as well on the inside line. But yes, Daniel, overall, what are your thoughts then, leaving today and heading into next round?
I think it's going to be extremely close around this track. There's not too many corners and all of them are quite high speed. So it's going to be quite close because slipstream's going to be a real problem. Especially with actually the fronts are overheating for once around these tracks, which is a first for me.
Absolutely. George, what about yourself?
Yeah, obviously quite a high-speed track. The majority of them are straights and high-speed corners. So I think definitely going to be some good battles, and majority of it slipstream-wise, because I think the slipstream in these cars are quite heavy, because compared to other series I do on Seca Corsa, I said iRacing there. On the Seca Corsa, these cars definitely feel like they have a lot of slipstream, and definitely going to be big, especially on this track with the very long straights.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to it. Have a great race, guys. Really excited to see how both of you will get on. But well done on today, most of all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go, JP. All wrapped up with the interviews.
All wrapped up. Great interviews. It's always great to get the guys in and hear from them as well. But time to wrap up the evening, and to be fair, it's looking like it's going to be a great circuit. I can't wait. Look at the side by side as they come through. Can they just get the inside? No. Oh, maybe you can't get the breaker zone for Beckett's. Can't get it through Beckett's. Can get it through Beckett's. Oh, next week's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for me to have the call.
I'm really excited for both of you to be able to call absolutely this thrilling and fantastic racing, because they're still going for it as well, heading down into the braking zone, Given on the inside line, and at least I'm being able to call a bit of Silverstone action once again this season, and George Given takes the position. That is absolutely fantastic, and That is thrilling stuff. So, well, I guess we're going to stop there in terms of Silverstone action, because we're going to progress through and start previewing and looking ahead also to the next round, and in terms of what position we find ourselves with in terms of standings. That's what we're going to go through for you now. So, it is Roman Irashto who leads the championship on 230 points. Sandy Burgi second on 168. John Jig third on 134. Then it's Daniel and Jack Smith who has roared his way up, having come in as well very lately in this championship. Ritru P6, George Given P7. Matt Pryor drops down to 8th as well, of course, no longer contesting this season. Ishmael Armstrong 9th, and then Rum in 10th. Oscar Buck in 11th, and Max Beldage is 12th in the order. And those are our standings after round 6, up to date for us.
And in terms of the calendar, we now only have 3 weekends left, and that will be round 7 at the Silverstone National Circuit on the 31st of March at 7 PM, UK time, of course. And then don't forget, the clocks do change, so don't get caught out by that if you're in a different country to us. It's 7 o'clock British summertime we're going to from next week. Then round 8, the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, that's on the 7th of April, and it all rounds out at Imola on the 14th of April as well.
It's going to be thrilling. It's going to be fantastic. Really looking forward to the absolutely thrilling action that we have to come at Silverstone. It'll be JB and Nina taking you through what should be another exciting round number 7 of the championship. But the first 6 have been absolutely brilliant. It's now time to crack on and get into the final 3 rounds as we get a step closer to crowning our champion, but most of all, having a little bit more fun. Season 1 of the TDM FunCup Championship is reaching a close, but we've still got 6 fantastic races to go, and we look forward to having your company in a week's time at Silverstone. We'll see you there. Goodbye.